we had one more topic. What was our last topic? Oh, this will be real brief, and then we're going to wrap up for the night. Disney Plus is raising their fees again. $2.
Because of course they are.
So I believe if you have the standalone Disney Plus, which at this point it's like you can get the package with Disney, Hulu, and ESPN, but Disney is everything that's on Hulu also on Disney Plus, or are there some things that aren't?
Okay, so here's how I think that works.
No, I know Hulu has live TV.
Yes, and you can access, if you have Hulu, you can access your Hulu content through
so
the
if
Disney
you don't
Plus
have both,
app.
it's not on the Disney app.
But if you do not have Hulu, you cannot access Hulu content on the Disney Plus app.
Brilliant.
Because like I noticed I was watching High Potential through my Disney Plus app because it's the one that's logged in and Hulu isn't. And I was being lazy and didn't want to log in another app. In fact, I might just delete it. Because, storage space. Yay, iPhone. But I noticed it said this show is available through your Hulu subscription. So that's I think that's how that works currently.
Okay. So I mean, here's kind of what I want to say. Like, this is, in my opinion, like this is just, we're just at a point of, it's just constant price increase.
I mean, yeah, but like Netflix jacked their price all the way up to $20 a month and people still pay it.
Right. But here's what and I don't understand that either, because
we still honestly, pay it.
I know we do, but
why do we? That's the question.
I've never I don't watch Netflix. My kids do. That's the only reason we still have it, is because there's stuff on there that the kids watch.
Yay, K-pop Demon Hunter.
I get something like 2 or 3 times a year that I get that I will watch on Netflix. Like, it's like, oh, this thing you've been waiting for finally dropped 3 years later, so I'll watch that.
Right.
Although I'm going to say, I don't even know if I'm have any interest in Stranger Things at this point. Like, if it's just amazing, I'm going to watch it. But like, I don't want to watch that many feature-length movies to finish the series. Every episode's a movie.
I mean, and all your actors are 30. They're not really 30, okay? But they are like 25 now.
They're all,
Okay, maybe not. All right, I am exaggerating, okay?
Hello, fellow teens.
I'm exaggerating. But Millie Bobby Brown, I'm pretty sure is 23. And she's not a 23 that looks 15, like Tom Holland, for example. She's a 23 that looks 30, which is not a criticism. Like it's just that she's no longer believable as being in high school. Right. That's there's a reason that they usually cast youthful looking 20-somethings in high school roles, is because when they finish filming,
well, there's a couple of reasons, but
there are a couple of reasons, but one of them is that when they finish filming, this youthful looking 20-something will still look 15.
Right. The other reasons, because, you can't shoot as many hours a day with under 18.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But also, like, if you film with real teenagers, chances are between the ages
their look's gonna change.
Their look is gonna and
yeah.
Unless they're Michael J. Fox or Tom Holland or one of a very few selection of actors that could still be convincing as 10 years younger than they were. Although sometimes I think I maybe went into the wrong career because people kept trying to card me at the at the damn casino. Only some days do I look young. Some days I look definitely my age.
So I guess these are my thoughts on the price increase. It's like Disney spent the last 5 years since they launched Disney Plus making garbage and more garbage and more garbage. And it's not that there hasn't been some good
stuff. Garbage. Some
there's
really
been
great
some
stuff.
There's been some really, really great stuff. But think about the long list of stuff that they just purged from Disney Plus and decided it doesn't exist anymore. Right. And then there's some work, and then there's some even worse stuff. Like they purged stuff that was way better than The Acolyte.
But that they did the big purge before the Acolyte.
They weren't going to purge a Star Wars.
I mean,
they should.
They purged a Willow.
Yeah, that's Willow. That's a totally different thing.
Yeah, but like they really hyped it up.
They did. And it was real bad. But they've
how else are they going to recoup? That's the question.
Well, so right, but what they've done is they've made so many bad things, and they keep making stuff that's you know for 5 years now they've made so much terrible content, and they've made so many mistakes as a studio in general, and now you get to pay $2 extra a month.
I mean, the thing is,
until they jack it up again.
The thing is, we're not just paying for foibles in Disney Plus. We're paying for foibles in Lucasfilm. We're paying for foibles in Star Wars. We're paying for foibles in Marvel, as well as the likes of the past 3 animated movies that they like totally went like. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, a Disney animated princess movie should be off the charts.
But they're using something. They're using Disney Plus to basically say we can make as many mistakes as we want, and then you can pay for it.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that it is becoming clear,
that
the streaming dream, it's it really is.
It's destroying everything. It's destroying the industry.
I was having a conversation with a couple of people at a birthday party over the weekend. You know, the typical like, oh, you work in movies, that's cool. You know, do you stay super busy? No. Well, yeah,
nobody does anymore.
I noticed there's like not like a whole lot of movies coming out. Like, am I just not seeing them? No, they're not making them. Oh, well, why do you think that is? Which is, of course, a question that's a question on everybody's minds. There's all the, lots of discussions about this. And the consensus seems to be that, streaming was like, it really exploded during COVID because everybody was stuck at home. And all of a sudden, Disney Plus launched during COVID, right? So all these things, happened. It was just kind of this perfect storm. And they were like, everybody just decided streaming was the way of the future. And this is where they were going to invest all of their money. This is where they were going to put all the good content, the bad content, and it was all going to make money.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Once people went back to work.
The thing is, there's never any, with a lot of the streaming stuff, there's not a clear-cut way. There's not a clear-cut way of looking at how these things make money.
Right.
Like they're spending more.
Well, they know, but we
certainly know they're hemorrhaging money. That's what they know. Because they're spending way too much per show. And they're hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
They're spending way too much money, whether the show's good or bad.
And the funny thing is, it's what, 15 years down the line, and now we pay just as much for all of our streaming services as we did for cable or satellite.
Which cable and satellite, like when we go to my grandmother's house, I still try to watch. There's nothing on.
No.
Like it's literally everything that's on. I mean, there you got your network stuff. And I saw apparently they're showing some faith in the paper over at NBC because it's going to air on NBC starting in a couple of weeks, I think. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
the streaming thing has damaged TV. It has damaged the theaters.
Not to mention the quality of commercials. Oh my God. Have you watched streaming commercials lately?
I would bet money that Netflix is the only streamer that's profitable. Disney's floating. Disney even when I'd love to go back and find that info now from when Disney was getting ready to launch. And they basically said, we don't need to be profitable.
We just need to kill Netflix.
Yes. It was basically we can afford to do this at a loss for X number of years before it becomes a problem.
So funny story though, they cannot operate their streaming platform at a loss, run their parks at a loss, make movies at a loss, all at the same time. Because guess what? My brother-in-law sent me a video from Galaxy's Edge in Disney World the week after Labor Day. Now, granted, not the most popular time to go to Disney World because a lot of people have just started back to school in the US, but literally there was no one there. He videoed my 3-year-old niece running through Galaxy's Edge for probably 3 solid minutes. And there, not another person. Did not see another person for that entire.
Yeah. You can actually go back to July 4th weekend. There were a lot of the park streamers that were posting screenshots of the wait time for the rides July 4th weekend, and basically every ride at Magic Kingdom had a less than 20-minute wait.
I mean, like,
and yes, Ro is right, it's expensive, but see, this is the other thing. Things get worse and they jack the price up, and then the experience gets a little more worse, and then they keep jacking the price up. And that's what's happened with the parks. The parks used to be, the whole point of the parks used to operate with the mindset that before you even finished your first day at Disney, they wanted you to be talking about coming back. They wanted you to be planning your next trip. They don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Since COVID, that has gone away, and the people at the parks don't care about your experience anymore.
You know, so my my brother-in-law is a doctor, and he makes a lot more money than we do. So they do a lot more expensive things than we do. So they tend to go to Disney World about once a year. They also still have very young children. You know, they still have a 3-year-old in their house. But even, you know, my sister says that, like, going to Disney before COVID and after COVID, she's like, it's just like a completely different experience.
Yeah. Well, my dad's still like a once a year or maybe twice a year Disney guy. And he's basically said the same thing. It's just not the same.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's still cool, but it's just like not even comparable to the experience 6 years ago. And I mean, I'm sorry, but we can't, like, COVID can't continue to be the excuse for why everything sucks. It's been 5 years, friends.
Yeah. I don't know what honestly, I think that whatever Disney's game plan was, they've lost the plot.
I mean, honestly, here's the thing. Nothing is too big to die. If you know, Sears and Roebuck is solid on your grape.
I checked. I even talked about it. I said, I got to get these right. I don't want Ro coming in here and scolding me for low mic quality.
Here's the thing. If Sears and Roebuck can fail, and like, people my age and younger don't realize the implications of Sears failed. Sears and Roebuck invented catalog sales. They invented, we send you a catalog, you order stuff. I mean, they created an entire massive international conglomerate like nothing the world had ever seen.
Yeah, it was Amazon before Amazon.
It was Amazon.
Look, I got
100 years before Amazon.
I mean, I have a boat. I have a fishing, like a John boat. That's like a 1976 Sears and Roebuck. I've got dressers that belong to my great grandparents that actually, one of them still has the shipping label from the train on it.
Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck
sold houses,
Sears and Roebuck sold houses. Sears and Roebuck, there was one of the craziest stories is when one of the oil companies went into South America. Yeah. They went into South America and they would hire these people and to come work.
They'd never seen this much money before.
And they would come and they'd work for a week and they'd get their paycheck and go, well, that's a year's pay. And they wouldn't come back. So they said, well, we have to figure out a way to get these people to keep coming back to work. So they distributed Sears and Roebuck catalogs so that they would spend that money.
And so if such in groundbreaking. Like everything about the way we shop now is predicated on the Sears and Roebuck model.
Right.
Without Sears and Roebuck, there is no Walmart. There is no Amazon. I mean, all of it.
It's a refusal to evolve. That's what
Yes.
Sears. Sears refused to. Sears could have been Amazon now.
Yes.
But they didn't evolve.
And that's the thing. Like if the most successful company in the history of the world can go bankrupt within 100 years, like,
yeah,
you know, like,
so I don't
nobody's
know.
too big to fail. And people like to think that they are. They like to think that they're Amazon, they're Walmart, they're Disney, and therefore they're guaranteed permanent success. And they are not.
What they've turned Disney into is, and I've even seen like pretty big park streamers like Mally Mouse. She dropped her. She's no longer a Disney pass holder because it got so expensive.
Wow.
And this is what she does. This is her whole channel. And it's like,
so she just has to go buy a one-day ticket and get all the mileage out of it she can.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. So they've turned it into it used to be a thing that people went and they couldn't wait to go back. And now it's like this thing that for a lot of people, if they're lucky, it's a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
And then even for they're pricing we're at the point where they're pricing out middle income families.
Well, whenever they decided to launch that massive immersive Star Wars experience that there was literally no way to afford unless you.
That was a massive failure. And now they've drained the rivers of America now. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I believe it's already drained. They're doing Cars Land or something there. And then you don't realize what they haven't told you is, oh, by the way, this massive amount of water in the middle of the park, it helps cool the park off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
now we're going to cover it with asphalt.
Yes, we're going to pave the rivers of America.
How long has that been there?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's an original feature.
Okay. Yeah, so all of that to say, yeah, the hotel.
Yeah. So yeah, Rose said the hotel made no sense during the time that it never made sense. And then they made it so expensive that most people would never be able to dream of going to it. And then the experience, like I remember, I think I probably even did a show with Ro at the time where we were like, when they announced it and we're like, what all could be there? Like, and we had all these crazy visions of like what you could do with this. And you go, and then they get it and then they like launch it and you go like, they really didn't even try with this.
No, because they were like, it's Star Wars. We're printing money.
Yeah.
If we build it, they will come. And they built it and everybody was like,
the real problem is
sucks.
They built it after they had already kind of tanked the product.
Well, and I think that they still hadn't learned their lesson though. They hadn't learned.
They haven't even learned their lesson that the park, the Galaxy's Edge should have been probably original trilogy themed, not sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
To attract the widest array of people. But I think that Disney, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is what frustrates me now because I liked The Force Awakens, but it was clearly a relaunch of the concept. And you know, people aren't wrong when they say it's just a New Hope. But I really now looking back at it think they thought we're going to relaunch Star Wars and then we're going to forget all this stuff that predated our ownership of it. And this is going to be Star Wars. And so they made Star Wars Land and only focused on that. And it's instead of the thing like, oh, people aren't going to watch that old stuff anymore. And it's like, yeah, you know, one of the most, at least one of the two most successful film trilogies of all time. Sure. Nobody's going to watch that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the decision
at the very least, that park should have encompassed. They shouldn't. they shouldn't have tried to make it like, oh, you're at this place in Star Wars. It should have been like everything else at Disney, where you can just run into anybody. And they've always done things where you're not going to run into two characters that you shouldn't see together at the same time. That's always been done at all the Disney parks.
Yes, so much hubris.
It's just, I really think that they got so greedy. One, I think Lucasfilm needs to clean house. But
I mean,
I think that
I think that's become abundantly clear.
But I think that they got so arrogant that they just thought we can slap Star Wars on anything and they're just going to lap it up. This goes back to what we talked about with David the other day. Disney's out there now saying we need boy brands. Like, why don't our audience is mostly female. We need boy brands. And it's like, you bought Marvel and you bought Lucasfilm. Like, you don't need, like, and I'm not one of these people that's like, it's dead. I don't think you can really ever kill something as good as either one of those properties.
Yeah.
But it is certainly in need of some help.
Yeah.
Like, it needs some, a serious shot in the arm.
We need boy brands. It's like
you bought two of the biggest boy brands on the planet.
And like, that doesn't mean
like,
that you can't take your sons to see Aladdin and you can't, take your daughters to see Star Wars.
No.
I mean, like, good entertainment is good entertainment.
Well, that's the thing. There were always, because I don't want this to sound like, oh, I think only girls watch Star Wars. No, that had always been, there had always, and that's the thing, is they pretended like girls hadn't always liked Star Wars.
Right.
I think that's actually maybe the more offensive part of it, is acting like
Star Wars saved Star Wars for girls.
That Star Wars, yeah, because it's, they had this belief that Star Wars wasn't made for girls before, but there are tons of fans, female fans of the original series.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all just utter nonsense.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what Disney's plan is, but like, I'd love to take my kids back to Disney before they all start graduating from high school. It's getting real close. Like, I got one that's 2 years away from being done with school. Yeah. I'd love to go back to Disney one more time, but you know what? Like, if I've got a choice right now between Disney and Dragon Con, guess where I'm going? Because right now I have to, right now I can't afford to do both because Disney's so outrageously expensive.
Right.
Right now, I wouldn't dream of skipping Dragon Con for a Disney trip.
Yeah. No. I think we'd have some disappointed kids.
Hey there, sci-fi fans. We hope you enjoyed this clip from a previous live stream of the Science Fictionary podcast. We hope you'll go check out other episodes. We hope you'll hit that like and that subscribe button. And please go check out all of our friends over at the Red5 Network. And as always, may the Force be with you.